If you want to improve your relationship, then you have to improve your communication, which most couples seem to understand because in the initial session, I'll ask the couple what their goal is. And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell me that their goal is to learn how to improve their communication, which is an excellent and understandable goal, because if the relationship is unhealthy, then the communication is unhealthy, which means that your body language, your affect, your tonality are all unhealthy, which is going to foster disconnection and detachment. So if your goal is to connect and attach, then your communication has to be reflective of that, which most couples seem to understand. What they don't seem to understand is that you cannot set a goal to improve your communication without simultaneously setting a goal to emotionally regulate. If you cannot deal with the underlying emotions, then those emotions will become unmanageable. Those emotions will bleed into the communication. So you cannot improve your communication without dealing with the underlying emotions. You have to improve your ability to emotionally regulate. So the couple thinks they have a problem with their communication, which they do. But what they don't seem to understand is that they also have a problem with emotional dysregulation. If you're emotionally dysregulated, then you're in your amygdala. That's the fear and anger portion of your brain, which is going to push you into your sympathetic nervous system, which means you're in your fight or flight mechanism, which means adrenaline and cortisol, blood flow to your extremities, increased heart rate and respiration. So then now that person that you're in a relationship with, you now see them as a threat. So how are you going to effectively communicate that with that person in order to foster connection and attachment if you see them as a threat? You're not. Your brain is going to want to mitigate the threat. You're in a place in your body where it's going to affect your body language, your posture. You're going to clench your teeth. You're going to clench your fists. It's going to change the tonality. You're going to raise the tone of your voice because the loudest person wins. You're going to want to be understood rather than seeking to understand. You're not going to actively listen. You're going to want to be right. You're going to stonewall. You're going to shut down. You're going to disconnect from that person, which is not the goal. When you're in your amygdala, your fight or flight mechanism, this part of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, is not online. That part of your brain is the part of your brain that you reason and rationalize with. So how are you going to effectively communicate in a way that's logical, factual, and reasonable if you're not able to use your prefrontal cortex? You're not. Cognitive distortions are going to follow suit. Cognitive distortions are faulty or illogical thoughts. So the things coming out of your mouth are not factual or logical. And you're not going to be able to understand the person, which is going to open the door up for misinterpretation. If you want to improve your relationship, you have to improve your communication. If you want to improve your communication, you have to improve your